Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Oh boy, you know it's real bad when even CNN Blue Anon shill Van Jones is coming out and admitting live on air that the Democrats are completely and utterly screwed. I mean, this Van Jones guy is the same guy who spent years running cover for the party, spinning every failure, every disaster as some sort of brilliant strategy. This is the guy who literally cried when Joe Biden won in 2020, the same guy who cried when Joe Biden stepped out of the last election, the same guy who back in November called Donald Trump's victory a nightmare scenario. In other words, he's one of the biggest partisans on CNN, but even he can't deny it anymore. And he's not mincing his words either. He's not saying, look, the Democrats need to get their crap together. He's saying the Democrat Party is screwed. I guess I'm not the only one who's seeing it that way. Let me show you guys exactly what's happening on CNN here. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so just take a look at this take from former Obama advisor Van Jones.
We're screwed. I mean, we don't know. No, Democrats don't know what to do. This is a nightmare. Somebody like Donald Trump, we thought we'd at least have, Hakeem Jeffries in the speaker's chair to hold him back if we didn't have Kamala in there to do the right thing. Listen, the Democratic Party is going through a massive set of internal crises. You have a party that got trapped two ways. One, defending a broken status quo that nobody likes because they thought that Donald Trump was going to make it worse. But when you're defending the status quo, you're going to lose. And then offending most people in the country, calling everybody sexist and racist and transphobic and every other name, and then saying, please follow us. That's not a good strategy, folks. Defending a broken status quo and offending most of the country turns out is not as popular as my party thought it was going to be. And so it's going to take a while.
Look, man, we're screwed, Van Jones says. And yes, Van, I believe you are. And it gets even better when he actually explains why. He admits that the Democrats essentially trapped themselves in the worst position possible. On one hand, they spent years defending the status quo, pretending like Biden's disastrous policies were actually working, just because they were afraid to admit that Donald Trump was right. But at the same time, they also spent years alienating normal Americans by calling everybody sexist, racist, transphobic. You're phobic this, you're phobic that, and every other made-up insult and label that you'll find in the woke dictionary of insanity. I guess finally, partisans like Van Jones are coming to their senses, and clearly what's happening is the Democrat disaster is becoming so obvious that it's starting to become pretty hard to deny at this point. And so you got these characters in the media, I guess, trying to sound the alarm, but unfortunately for them, it's falling on total deaf ears. Just to show you the disconnect, how completely disconnected from reality the Democrat establishment is, as top Democrat talking heads in the media are saying, we're screwed, man. Hakeem Jeffries is releasing videos like this.
We have the Republicans on the run on three core issues. They are on the run in terms of the economy. In fact, Donald Trump and Republicans are crashing the economy in real time. We have them on the run in terms of healthcare, particularly as it relates to Medicaid. And we have them on the run with respect to the GOP tax scam. And all of that is being done in service of trying to pass massive tax breaks for their billionaire donors like Elon Musk and wealthy corporations. So we have them on the run. And we're going to keep our foot on the gas pedal.
I mean, out of touch doesn't even begin to describe it. We've got Republicans on the run. In what world, little Hakeem? The entire Democrat Party is in flames. The infighting is out of control. Their congressional approval is at an all-time low. They just got steamrolled in a presidential election, lost all three branches of government, lost the popular vote in 2024 to Donald J. Trump, who's quite the controversial figure. All of their narratives are collapsing in real time. What Donald Trump is doing is proving to be wildly popular based on the approvals. His approval rating is also at an all-time high, even though they're saying, oh, it's so low, it's so low. He's got a positive approval spread, despite again being the controversial orange man, and Hakeem thinks this is winning? It's like watching the captain of the Titanic hold a press conference to announce that everything is fine, while standing waist deep in freezing frickin' water. Things are going horribly for Democrats, and that's a bad position to be in because right now, the focus is not supposed to be on them. They're the out-of-power opposition party. Right now, all the attention should be on the Trump administration, and Democrats should be very targeted and specific and strategic about what they're calling out, and especially in terms of crafting messaging. They need to be in campaign season right now, convincing the American people that they're a viable alternative. But instead, they seem so wrapped up in their Trump derangement syndrome that they're acting like complete buffoons, and instead the spotlight is on them in a negative capacity. That's bad. And you know it's bad when even CNN seems to be roasting them nightly.
The Democratic Party itself is frankly an irrelevant political party. They don't have a message. Their policy positions have left cities across this country in shambles. I mean, even last night, let's just think about this for a minute. The president highlighted DJ, the young kid who's dealing with cancer survivor. They didn't even have enough decency to stand and applaud. He highlighted the mother whose daughter was killed by an illegal immigrant. They didn't stand and applaud. He talked about law enforcement, not the bad guys, but the ones who are doing good work every day across this country, keeping our cities safe. They didn't stand and applaud. It appears to me that the Democratic Party, in my personal opinion, is a party that is in chaos right now.
You think,
they have no idea which direction
Sir Michael, with all due respect, you think Democrats are going to...
absolutely.
Wait, let me say this. You think Democrats should applaud Donald Trump when he talks about law enforcement?
No, but a kid with cancer.
Stop. Let me just... No, excuse me. In that very chamber where Donald Trump's goons try to harm the people that were sitting there and applauding Donald Trump, you want Democrats to take advice from Donald Trump about law enforcement?
It's not about taking advice, Julie. Some things should just simply be above politics.
Right.
And those are three instances where Democrats could have simply applauded.
I'm sorry.
You don't have to like the president to say these are good things.
This president is cutting funding for childhood cancer. You want to know what he's cutting funding for? The NIH. The CDC, he's got a wacko as the head of HHS. And you want to talk about it. I'm sorry, I'm very happy for that kid. I'm very happy for that kid. I'm glad that his lifelong dream came true and he became, a cop or whatever he wanted to become. But the bottom line is that all it does is accentuate the horrors that Donald Trump is imposing on kids with cancer.
Democrats seemed pathetic and they seemed petulant in their behavior last night. And if they think that's going to help them go into midterms next year, I say keep going.
They're getting dumpstered in the headlines for their absolutely disgusting behavior during Trump's first congressional address. And the big-brain Democrats who are faced with this reality on CNN, faced with the criticism, are doubling down, justifying it. Oh, well, we're refusing to clap for a child cancer survivor because we can't give Trump what he wants. What are you people doing? I mean, these morons actually think that clapping for a kid who beat cancer is helping Trump and his narratives? This is next-level psychosis. These people are so consumed by their insane Trump derangement syndrome that they can't even muster the basic human decency to acknowledge a kid's struggle against a horrible illness. You people are insane. Some things really should be above politics or above your hate for Trump. But with these Democrats, nothing is. And so they just continue to look so bad. And I'm sure some people would say, well, that's not all of us. It doesn't represent all of us. It's just a few extremists on the left, right? All the time, the same freaking scapegoat. But is it really? It seems to me as if it's quite the opposite, when literally nobody except for one Democrat stood up to clap for DJ Daniels.
Were you surprised when you looked around and saw that you were one of the lone folks doing so among Democrats?
Well, I was a little bit surprised and disappointed. It's hard to be the only Democrat to stand up, but when you have a little boy who just got over brain cancer, the decision to stand was pretty easy for me because I'm glad that he survived brain cancer. I think it's nice. He wants to be a police officer. And the same was true for Officer Jonathan Diller's widow. Her husband was killed in the line of duty. Her little baby son is never going to know his father. And her family made the ultimate sacrifice to try to keep us safe.
Yeah, Laura Gillen, that's the only Democrat who had the decency to clap for this poor kid. I don't know, seems like a pretty hefty majority of Democrats who engage in this horrible behavior. It's not an extreme minority. And I think the same thing applies in terms of the reaction afterwards and the rhetoric that followed. Again, we're not seeing the party at large turn around and say, well, that was wrong. We shouldn't have done that. No, we're seeing doubling down, bullshit justification. We're even seeing many Democrats attack DJ Daniels, as horrible as that is. And then again, only one Democrat really coming out and criticizing the party, and that's John Fetterman. John Fetterman calls out his party's antics during Trump's joint address to Congress. He called it a sad cavalcade of cell phones and unhinged petulance. It only makes Trump look more presidential and restrained. We're becoming the metaphorical car alarms that nobody pays attention to, and it may not be the winning message. Yeah, it's literally one guy, it's the one stroke victim who seems to be the only one with his brain intact in the whole party. As ironic as that is, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I've ever seen an out-of-power opposition party this lost, this disorganized, and this completely out of touch heading into a midterm. You know, it's one thing to lose a presidential election, that happens, but usually the losing party at least pretends to learn from their mistake. They pivot, they start crafting the message, but instead, these people are doubling down on everything that got them rejected in the first place, and frankly, it seems like they're taking it even a step further. Instead of offering an alternative, they're out here LARPing like social revolutionaries, releasing these cringe TikTok videos, refusing to clap for cancer survivors, and pretending like they're winning while every poll shows the exact opposite. The ship is frickin' sinking. The passengers have already jumped off board. They're on the life raft and they're saying, Hakeem, all you gotta do is jump to us. We'll catch you. Don't worry. We got you. And Hakeem's saying, I don't know, looks kind of dangerous. I think I'm comfortable over here. While he's on a ship that's on fire sinking to the bottom of the freaking ocean. Doesn't exactly seem like good winning strategy to me. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.